What's up, Nubist and Ninox Kickstarter backers? Richard Brad coming to you. A lot of you guys and gals are getting your shipments. We're super excited about that. Today I wanted to do kind of an Matt, come back over here. You don't need to know that. Today I want to do kind of an unboxing and go through all of the awesome gear that you probably either have coming to you right now or you already have. I wanted to make this video just as a quick deal so you can skim through and see any particular things. There's definitely some unique aspects of this product, and so I want to make sure I go over those with you. All right, so let's take a look at each of the individual pieces. So first I'm going to open up, this is the gear stash. When you get the gear stash, it's basically a mini hammock. You're going to have a cord on each side, and these cords already have pre-knotted ropes for easy attachment. So that's the gear stash. Winter top shield. Let's take a look at it. So this is basically the top of the Ninox hammock, and it's made to provide a kind of a little bit of a heat retention or an insulation effect. What you're going to want to notice is you should have 4 little tie outs, you should have 4 little vents, and then you should have zipper pullers, so you're going to attach to the hammock at the top of each side. Okay, so to put this on, you would want to first take off the insect shield of the Ninox. So that's the winter top shield. Super excited about that piece, by the way. All right, this is the Ninox double layer hammock. I'm going to show you the bag. So when you open it up, you can see you've got a little extra compartment here for your suspension. The other side has the other end of your Ninox hammock coming out. Pretty sweet. You got a couple of QR videos here. This is a setup video. This is a how to take care of your Ninox video. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. And the big thing you'll notice is you got the webbing. This is the webbing you'll attach to your Talon suspension, and then the hammock obviously will just pull out. I won't pull the whole thing out, but you can see you got your mesh topper. You got the double layer, which is going to have your primary color, and then the interior color right here, and then the primary color on the cap. And big thing to notice and always check is that you should have 7 bar tacks here, and that is going to be your kind of safety check every time you hang. Always make sure that that's in good shape. All right, more on that in a little while. Let's look at the fly. So the fly, you've got the stake bag on the outside, and you've got these 4 blue DAC stakes. Never bent one of these guys. Love these stakes. Lightweight and extra strong. All right, let's take a look at the fly. It is a double-ended stuff sack, so you can open it from either side. And inside you're gonna have, it's probably gonna be rolled really nicely. Rather than do this completely right now, we'll take this out and show you, but you've got 2 sky hooks, and you're gonna wanna just find those sky hooks immediately when you're going to set it up. All right, next let's talk about the Talon suspension. So the Talon suspension comes in its own bag. You can use this bag for the suspension, or you can use it to carry other things, because your suspension will actually go in this little compartment for your hammock, right? Now this is a rare commodity. We're actually gonna run out of these before we run out of hammocks. So if you don't have these and you're watching this, you better grab a set while you can. These are a little dirty. We've been using the heck out of them. But I just want to show you a couple of things. The cool thing about the Talon is, one, we developed a new webbing, obviously. This is a high-strength Dyneema blend of high-strength polyester and just a bunch of synthetic materials that are really awesome at being strong. That's the best way I can say it. It's also fairly stiff, which I like. It's not like a limp webbing. It's fairly stiff, thin, but ultra strong. You're gonna see a couple things on this. So The webbing comes threaded through correctly on your slider. You've got a little cinch here that we added to make sure that that slider stays in. Okay, that just keeps it from popping out. You got a pull tab here that's used for adjusting the slider up and down, right? What you're going to want to find immediately when you open this up is you're going to want to find this loop. Put this around the tree and then put the talon through the loop, and then that is how you're going to set up your hammock. That's what your talon suspension is going to look like. You're going to have 2 of those. More on that in a little while. Finally, the pole kit. If you didn't get the pole kit, you probably want to go grab it because it really makes the fly look like a spaceship, and it gives you a whole lot more room inside. Let me go over what you're going to get with the fly kit, the pole kit. So you should have 2 cords, you should have 2 poles. Each of the ends of the poles has a little ball cap. Now this is important because it connects directly into our Ninox fly. Let me grab a little end here. See that little plastic piece right there? That is going to clip right in. Nice press fit there. So it allows you to create a porch mode or create kind of an expanded fly mode. We'll go over that more in a minute. You got your 2 poles, and then you've got a repair sleeve. Now, every pole kit comes with a repair sleeve. So if you had to make like a trail repair, you would simply slide this over and then take some duct tape or something and make that temporary repair fix in the field. And then when you got back to town, you would be able to contact Lexi at customer support, and we would get you a new pole or replacement pole. All right, let's go take a look in the field at how all this looks set up. All right, so let's take a look at our setup. First thing you're gonna do if you're getting ready to just set up the hammock, I'll walk you through how to do that. I've got 2 trees already picked out. They're about 18 feet apart. First thing I do is pull my suspension out. And like I said, you wanna make sure you got your little rope here, you got your slider in, and your webbing. I usually start with my webbing kind of in the middle, depending on my setup. Got both of those laid out. All right, so now we're gonna put these on the tree. First thing to do is just find your loop end, and then you're just gonna wanna put that around the tree. Generally what I'll do is I'll get it around, and then I will thread the talon through the loop. Go ahead and get that all the way through. And then you'll want to put this about, I usually put it as high as I can reach. That usually is good enough for your setup because I like to be able to walk underneath my fly. So I'll put it up. Little trick that Barry Garibaldi taught me is that you don't want to actually tighten and choke the tree. You actually want to come off the side of the tree. All right, so go on and give yourself plenty of room. You can go on and loosen the buckle. Give yourself plenty of room so that you can attach both sides pretty easily. I'm going to go ahead and attach this side. All right, so once you get connected, you can then kind of center your hammock in between the 2 trees and then just pull on the straps to get it tight. Now you want the ridge line to be not super tight. You don't want any slack in it. When you're looking at your ridge line, you want to start your first setup with the ridge line webbing in the center. Okay, that's going to give you a really good starting point. You can make a fine-tuned adjustment from there. Again, you want a little bit of slack in the ridge line and start in the middle. So once you got your hammock set up, you're ready to go. You can test your ridge line, make sure your connection points are good, and then you'll just want to sit into the center of the hammock. Now, I usually like to set it up so that my feet are on the ground still, makes it easy to get in and out of. You can raise or lower that if you want. And then I'm just going to find the absolute center of the hammock. Ellen would freak out if I was putting my shoes in this hammock. Okay, so I'm going to center myself widthwise and lengthwise. So I've got this center point right here. I'm going to put my butt in, and then I've got my arms to the side, and I'm going to center. Now this is important because the Ninox is different from most hammocks in the sense that we do have a very special cut in the ends of the fabric. And so once I get in the center, I'm just going to place my feet in the pocket over here, and I'm going to put my head, you can come right here probably, and I'm going to put my head in this pocket over here. Now that is how you get in to the flat lay. Look how far on the diagonal I am. If you're ready to take your mesh off, it's pretty simple. Just start at the top, pull that over, disconnect that top piece, and then go to the bottom piece, disconnect the bottom piece. To put it back on, you'll just go in the same pattern, in the same order. Put the bottom piece on. Now, a little trick, I don't put the bottom piece all the way. I just kind of get it started, and then I'll lay my zippers in the direction that I want them to go, my zipper pullers. Once I get that one done, I can easily grab and do the top one. And then you want to just pull on the opposite tabs. So I'm pulling the bottom tab and the top tab over each other. And then you're good. So if you wanted to do the winter top shield, you would actually take this off and then in reverse, put the winter top shield back on. All right, so if you're ready to set up your fly with the Ninox hammock, you want to start with the fly. Go in and get your suspension on the trees, pull the fly out, and then connect the two sky hooks to the suspension. When you're ready to attach the fly, just grab the sky hook, open up the pocket, find your hook. You want to bring it all the way to the end because you're about to use the suspension for the majority of the connection. So take your hook, find the opening, put the hook through, and then connect it back to the D-ring. You can adjust that by just pulling the tail. The rest of the rope I just stick into that pocket. All right, let's do the other side. So whenever I set up the fly, I make sure that I've got a nice tight ridge at the top of the fly. It should be parallel with the ground. You shouldn't have any droop in the fly. So now that I've got it connected to my suspension, I'm going to go ahead and put the hammock inside. So now just take and grab your suspension loop of the hammock. Go into the closure sleeve and connect it to the talon, just like so. Do that on the other side. Now my hammock's in. I'm just going to now stake out the corners, and then we'll be ready to go. Grab my stakes, go to each of the corners. You'll have a pocket. Find the little loop at the end of the rope, and then you're just going to put that on your stake. Stake that out. I don't go straight out. I kind of feather towards the tree, and you can see I'm going to pull kind of in an X fashion when I set this up. Go ahead and stake it all the way out. You want to go on and extend that all the way so that you've got just a little bit more stretch in the elastic cord at each of the tie-outs. And then if you need to, you can adjust the tension lock to fine-tune it. I usually do opposite sides. So if I do this corner, then I'll go do that corner. Make sure they're in a straight line, and then I'll do this corner and then that corner. Make sure they're in the straight line. So I'm going to tie that out real quick. All right, so the last thing you can do is connect the doors on the fly. They've got their own little pockets as well, and a green hook at the end. You're just gonna take this green hook and go to the opposite tie out. So I'm gonna go to this side and connect it to the loop on the stake. And then I'm gonna get my other tie out. And so now my doors are set up. You can see that that actually provides more space and protection when you go to the stakes. You got your vents here, and then finally your closure sleeve, which you can lock around that talon. All right, now let's take a look at putting the pole kit on the fly. All right, so let's pop the pole kit on. I'm gonna remove my 2 poles, and then I'm just going to expand those poles, find my clips in the fly, and connect. Connect one of those. Connect the other one. And then I'm going to pop around to the other side and connect those. So, a couple things to note on the fly now that it's set up. You can see how my top is pretty taut. You can see how we don't have any loose fabric here, and how these poles actually help provide about 35% more space to the interior of the fly. And that's beneficial when you're inside the fly, moving around, getting things set up after a rainstorm or during camp. The only other thing to add now is the gear stash, and that's going to attach to the talons and go right underneath the hammock. To attach the gear stash, just find the end loop, thread it through the closure sleeve, and connect it to the talon. One other thing you can do is you can use the pole kit as a porch mode setup. So you can take and place the pole right here at the edge, and then move your stake in about a foot. And then set up on the opposite side. So after you loosen both of the stakes, you can set the poles up and then retighten those up a little bit. And then you've got a nice open area to enjoy the wild, get a little more airflow, etc. So that's the Ninox hammock in a start to finish when you open the box to set up your first time. Hope that's helpful. Just wanted to give you guys a few tips and tricks because the Ninox is a unique hammock. Super excited about the shelter and all of the accessories that go with it. If you have any questions, just shoot us an email or contact us on Facebook, on our Facebook page, and our support team will be more than happy to help serve you. Have a great day. We accidentally shipped single layer vivid blues in place of skydive double layers. All I can say is we're humans, we made a mistake, and we are repairing that and fixing that like lickety split. But if you ordered a skydive double blue, you probably received a vivid blue single layer. Don't worry, Lexi and Sarah are on that. I just wanted to talk about that really fast.